guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be doing a something old, something new, which if you have not seen these videos on my channel, it's basically where I put on a face of makeup featuring one product that is new, or at least new to me, alongside one product that is kind of an old favorite of mine. So for today's new product, we are going to be testing out the Juvia's Place Nubian 3 palette. I did an Instagram poll recently on 3 palettes that I picked up from Juvia's Place during the Black Friday holiday sale, and this is the one that won. This is the one you guys wanted to see, so we're going to be testing it out for the first time today to create this makeup look. As for the something new, I pulled out my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, one of my old favorites. I love this foundation, but it's been a little while since I have used it, so we're going to be using this again today. And then of course just filling in the gaps with other things that I already have in my collection. But I hope that you guys are excited about this one. Before we jump into it, any of you that are new to my channel, I hope that you will consider subscribing if you haven't done that yet. Hit that notification bell if you'd like to be notified every time I upload a new video. And with that all out of the way, let's go ahead and create this makeup look. Alright guys, so we are going to kick things off with a little bit of primer. I'm going to use the Smashbox Primerizer. Normally I don't actually use primer with this particular foundation, but I have had exceptionally dry skin lately. I don't know if it's just the weather outside is frightful. Alright, and now we're going to go into foundation. So I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. I use the shade Y245. This is probably as close to a perfect shade match as I own in my collection. Yeah, look at that. It's like the exact same color as my neck. That is so hard to find. Why is that so hard to find? This is one of those foundations that, like, when I am going to buy another foundation, I'll bring this one with me to try and match, if I can, a tester or something too. In fact, I've been wanting to try out the Makeup Revolution Hydrating Foundation, the Taylor, who is no longer called the Taylor. Her name's Taylor Wynn. She's been talking about that foundation a lot recently, and I feel like we have similar foundation preferences. Very curious to try that one out, and I've been wanting to take this foundation with me into an Ulta store to try and match that one, because I think Makeup Revolution does have testers in Ulta. Alright, now we're going to move into concealer. So I'm going to take the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I'm still trying to test this concealer out. I really like it, but I still feel like I need to use it a little bit more before I can really give my full thoughts on this thing. I'm also going to use this as my eye primer today. I feel like it is a little bit too light for like spots on my face. I'm just going to take that on my Ulta Beauty mini sponge and just blend that in around my eyes. I definitely do feel like I need a darker shade of this. I kind of wish I would have gone with the 120. I got shade 115. I feel like 120 probably would have been a perfect match for me. This one works pretty good for underneath my eyes. I don't mind a little bit of brightness. And I have been doing a little bit of self-tanning recently because I'm just like holding on. I'm trying desperately to hold on to that last tiny bit of tan that I had from the summer, which by the way was not all that much to begin with, and most of it was artificial anyway, so I'm just trying to like wean myself off of being tan. It's a hard thing to do. If you get used to your skin a little bit tanner, I don't know, there's something about that dead of winter pale skin that's a little bit shocking sometimes. Okay, I feel like that's looking really nice. So we're going to go into bronzer. I'm going to take my Milk Makeup bronzer. I just like to draw this on a little bit. Little spoiler, one of the best products of the year right here for me personally. I am planning to film my yearly favorites video, I think either tomorrow or the next day. I'm thinking that I'm probably going to do 3 videos. I'm still not sure. I need to sit down and finish tallying up the things that I want to mention and talk about and then decide. But last year I think I did my yearly favorites in an eye and lip product and then like a face product category. I don't remember for sure, but it was something like that. But this year I'm actually thinking I might do a best of the year category in both a high-end and then a drugstore version, and then have a completely separate video devoted just to eyeshadow palettes. I don't know. We'll see. I need to sit down and really see if I can maybe narrow down the eyeshadow palettes I talk about, because I've tried out so many eyeshadow palettes this year. And I know I'm not alone, but I truly feel like this has been the year of the eyeshadow palette, which I kind of love and hate at the very same time. I mean, you guys know how much I love eyeshadow palettes. They are definitely my makeup hardcore love and weakness. But I've tried so many out this year, but I don't want to just talk about all the ones that I've fallen in love with. Like, I really want to try and narrow it down to the ones that really are the best of the best. But I hope you guys will stay tuned. I am super excited about it. These are the videos that I get giddily excited over people uploading yearly favorites videos, because I love a good monthly favorites, but a yearly favorites is even better. Why don't we go into blush? Actually, I think I'm gonna wait on the blush. I think I'm gonna do my eyes first and then we'll go into blush and highlight. But before we jump into the eyes, I do wanna do my eyebrows first, and we're gonna take this. This is the IT Cosmetics Universal Eyebrow Pencil. I put this in my Shop My Stash that I did most recently. Was that November, I believe? And I have done a terrible job of using this thing. I just cannot put down the Ultra Brow Pencil. And I know that thing's gonna run out soon, and I'm either going to be forced to repurchase it, hoping that it's on sale, because it is $10, which I think is, I don't know. For it being Ulta Beauty brand, I feel like it should be a little bit cheaper than that. And I do know it goes on sale quite regularly, so I'll probably wait until it goes on sale again. And in the meantime, there are a couple more things that I do want to pick up from Yes Style, the K-Beauty website that I talked about a couple of weeks ago. And I really did like their brow pencil, this one from Etude House. And I was watching Arna Elaine's Best of the Year video recently, her Arna Awards, and she mentioned that pencil. I think that the one she mentioned was in like ash brown, which sounds way more up my alley. This one's a really close match for me, but I feel like it's just a smidge too warm, and I can't remember what color. I got light brown, 03 light brown. I just don't like when my eyebrows are warm, which is kind of ironic because I actually have very, very warm hair. I have a lot of natural redness and warmth in my hair. And not only that, but anytime I put any sort of artificial color in my hair, it always pulls a little bit red. But even still, I don't like when my brows are warm. I just don't like it. I like them to be very, very ashy. And that there was just a little bit of the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. So for today's new product, we are going to be using the Juvia's Place Nubian 3 Coral palette. I know that this palette is not new to the market. It's actually been out for a little while. I want to say it came out at the beginning of, was it this year? But I did just pick this up. This is new to me. I have not tried this out on my eyes yet, but this is what it looks like. A lot of pretty pink, kind of corally shades in here, some rosy colors. We have these silvers up here, which I think are really fun and interesting, which is kind of ironic because when this first came out, I thought the addition of some grays in here was a little bit of an odd color choice, but generally speaking, I feel like Juvia's Place keeps me guessing with their color choices, and sometimes I question them at first, but as I start to use them, I kind of fall in love with their somewhat odd color selections. I don't know if that makes sense, but kind of what I'm thinking I want to maybe do today, we'll see how this goes, but I'm kind of thinking I want to do a matte eye look with just a pop of sparkle on the inner corner, and I'll probably for that either use this kind of light corally pinky peach shade, or maybe this kind of light silver. Ooh, let's do the silver. I think we'll do a pop of silver on the inner corner. We're just gonna kind of wing it and play with these and see how they perform, taking just the tiniest bit of translucent powder, just popping that right on this intersection where my concealer can crease on me. And now we're gonna jump into this shade right here, which is kind of like a taupey brownish gray. This reminds me of like the color that I almost painted my walls in my house. We ended up going with something a little bit more warm toned, but I was really into this kind of taupey gray. I just can't look at this color without thinking of a Sherwin-Williams paint color. Like Repose Gray. That's kind of like what I'm thinking of. When we were building our house, I spent a lot of time studying that Sherwin-Williams swatch book, and that was one of the colors that we were leaning towards. Trying to keep this kind of higher up on my transition, and then we're going to put a little bit of a more kind of dusty rose shade underneath it. So now I'm going to go into my Wayne Goss number 18 brush, and we're going to take, I think, this color right here. This one has a little bit more of a traditional like pink kind of corally color to it, whereas this one is a little bit more of like a dusty, it's like a gray undertone to it. And we're going to apply that kind of right in my crease and slightly above. I'm just taking this brush and kind of turning it so it's sort of flat and just starting to build it right there. So I'm going to start building it there, and I think we'll probably start just kind of packing this on the entire eyelid. Almost as if we're doing like a wash of color all over. So I like to place most of the color on the outer corner and then just kind of feather it in. So I've had some comments recently from you guys asking me to zoom in a little bit more when I do my eye looks, which is what we're doing today. But it's hard for me to stay in focus when I'm zoomed in, because with the lens and the camera that I use, the more you're zoomed in, the more your focal plane, which is how long you can stay in focus basically when you move back and forth, the more narrow it is. So basically if I move even a tiny bit when I'm zoomed in, I'll go out of focus. So I have to be a lot more careful, but hopefully you guys will be able to see it a little bit better. Let me know if you like me to be a little bit more zoomed in like this. And I guess we'll find out when I'm editing how good I'm doing with my focus. So now I am very torn. I really want to test out these gray shades. I just don't know that this gray is going to look very good on top of this kind of more rosy color. So I really think I want to go into this rosy brown right here. We'll have to try out the gray later. I will be using the shimmery silver, but the dark grays we'll have to try out another time. So I'm just taking that also on the Wayne Goss brush. I'm just tapping it right on the tip of it and just kind of slightly feathering that in this outer corner right here, right above the lash line, and right into this corner. So for those of you that are celebrating Christmas, how are things going? Are you ready? By the time this video goes up, it will be, I think, a week before Christmas, which is crazy because I do still have a couple of things that I need to get, and I am like, okay, you got to think about how long it takes to get things here, or if you're shopping in store for things like food, you need to do it enough in advance that things don't run out. Last year, I think I did my Christmas food shopping 2 days before Christmas, and everything was gone. Like, I could not find melting chocolate, marshmallows, like all the simple things that I use to make Christmas treats were completely out of stock, so I need to make sure that I give myself enough time this year. I would also love to know what kind of food traditions you guys have for the holidays. Do you guys have any special treats you make for Christmas or any New Year's food that you guys eat year after year? I think it's so fun and interesting to hear how much our food is part of tradition. And I'm just going back into this color just to make sure to blend everything together. So I'm going to take this corner color right here. This is the one that we used in on my lid and in the crease. We're going to go into this one, which has a little bit more of like a coral kind of pinky undertone to it. And I'm taking that on just this semi-large eyeshadow brush. This one is from Luxie, is their large shader brush. And I just put a tiny bit on one side of the tip, and we just run that under the outer part of this lash line. I used this brush in a recent video for this, thinking that it was going to be way too big, but I actually kind of like how large it is because it just diffuses the shadow and blends it so easily. I would also love to know what holiday or Christmas movies you guys have to watch for tradition before Christmas is here. So we still have a couple left that we haven't gotten through. We still haven't gotten through It's a Wonderful Life. We usually save that one till like the end, maybe like on Christmas Eve or kind of the weekend before Christmas. We have watched Christmas Story. We watched Home Alone in October, so I kind of would like to watch it again now that trick-or-treating is over. But other than that, what have we not watched yet? We haven't watched Miracle on 34th Street yet. I love that movie, but my kids don't really like it that much. My husband's not super fond of it either, so that might have to be one that I watch by myself while I wrap Christmas presents, along with the Hallmark movies, you know? Alright, so I really like how the eyes are looking right now. We're going to stick with the matte look, even though I am tempted to add shimmer on my lid. We're just going to keep it as it is. But let's go ahead and pop the silver on the inner corner. So I'm going to take this Alamar Cosmetics flat shader brush right here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of this color right to my inner corner. I feel like, okay, no, we're going to use the finger. It's like the finger is the way to go when it comes to, yeah, definitely. It's kind of an interesting pop of sparkle. I'm not sure how I like it. We'll have to wait till we finish the eyes and the face. But I don't know. Silver on the inner corner might be a little bit unusual for me. It is a pretty silver though. I don't know how I feel about this. Let's go ahead and finish off the eyes. I'm going to add a little bit of liner and some mascara. So for liner today, I'm going to go in with my LA Girl Ultimate Auto Eyeliner. This one is in the color Lasting Brown. Then I'm going to add a couple of coats of mascara. This one is from Tony Moly. I got this from Yes Style. And then I will be right back with you guys. Alright you guys, and here are the finished eyes. I really like how they turned out. I do like the inner corner. It's definitely different. It's different than what I typically do, but I kind of like that little bit, almost like a blue toned silver on the inner corner. I don't know, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit unexpected, but I like it. So moving on to the rest of the face. I'm going to start off by adding a little bit of liquid blush. This one is from Physicians Formula. This is in the color Gorgeous Peach, which is such a gorgeous color, by the way. So I just like to take a kind of half pump on the back of my hand, and I kind of rub it around with my finger, and then I take my stippling brush and just kind of load it up on there, and then just kind of stipple it onto my cheeks. Is that not just the prettiest Most natural looking blush you have ever seen. I love that blush. So for highlighter, I want to take this right here. This is the Coty Airspun highlighter. This one's in the color Snow Much Ice. This is a little bit messy to work with. I know there are people out there that do not like loose highlighters because they are so very messy, but this is a really beautiful and intense highlighter. So I just like to take my highlighting brush and kind of cover up all the little holes right there and just give it a good tap. And I'm going to apply that just right here, and then kind of over towards the brow bone a little bit. Ooh, look at that. Alright, so for the lips, I'm going to start off by going in with this lip liner from ColourPop. This is in the color Frida, which is really like a peachy kind of bright pink. I'm going to take a little bit of this and just line lightly around the bottom of my lips, and then I like to take my finger and kind of smudge it in because this is a pretty bold color. Then I'm going to take this color right here. This is from Almay. This is one of their Lip Vibes lipsticks in the color Skip the Gym. This one has a little bit of like a gold kind of sparkly sheen to it. It's definitely more of like a frosty kind of metallic sort of shade of lipstick, which is not usually my thing. But hoping by putting a little bit of gloss on top, we might take a little bit of that kind of metallic look down. I'm going to go in with this by NYX. This is Creme Brulee, and add just a touch of that. And then we're going to set everything in place with a little bit of the ColourPop Pretty Fresh setting spray. Alright, you guys, so here is the finished look. I really like how this one turned out. It's definitely a little different for me. I don't know, the silver inner corner is a little bit outside my comfort zone, but I think it's kind of fun. I like the look of the matte eye. That's definitely not something I do hardly ever. I always have shimmer on my lid, but it's kind of fun, kind of different, and I know a lot of people really love their matte eyeshadows. So hopefully this gave you guys some ideas, some inspiration for this palette. So far, really impressed with this. I thought everything performed well, everything that I used. I didn't really love this shade in my transition mixed with some of the other warm kind of coral colors. I feel like it would go a little bit better with some of these silvers. That will have to be a different look that I do another time maybe for you guys. But I am excited to keep testing this out. I think these shimmers right here look so beautiful. I can't wait to try putting those on my eyelids. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have this palette, if you love it. What are some of your favorite shades to use inside of here? As for my old favorite foundation, I feel like this looks amazing on my skin. It's been a while since I've used this. I haven't used it, I think, since the summertime, and I love this stuff. It definitely is one that when this runs out, I think I will go pick up another one, and I'm not someone that buys a lot of high-end foundations. I definitely did not try a lot of foundations this year, and this was kind of the year of high-end foundation releases, I feel like. But I'm just pretty content with a lot of my drugstore favorites, and when I want something high-end, this works amazingly well for me. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, this makeup look. I hope that you guys are all having a wonderful time getting ready for the upcoming holidays. I'm really hoping to come back and do one more holiday look with you guys, and then we will jump into my yearly favorites, and then come January, we'll be doing my full month of nothing new. So lots of fun things coming up here on my channel. Be sure that you are subscribed if you have not done that yet. You do not want to miss out. It is going to be so much fun. I am so excited for 2020. I think it's going to be an amazing year. Thank you all so much for your support, not just in watching this video, but in watching all my videos this year. It's been such an amazing year here on my channel, and I have you guys to thank for that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Hope that you guys all have a great day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. The most closely, perfectly matched shade match. Okay, that was terrible. Terrible. Terrible sentence. Hey, bud. Do you need the mouse?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and pull it out. You know the little thing that goes with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just unplug that and then take it upstairs and put it in the back of the computer, okay?
Okay.
Similar, but this one has a little bit more like of a traditional... Where is my focus? Oh, whoa, I'm way out of focus.